One of the cool things that I remember from a particular psychological study that looked at improvising musicians, I don't know how it definitely wasn't with trumpets or something like that. If they're in an enclosed space measuring their brains, because I think it was an MRI, but when you look at the brain of someone who is playing, Miles Davis for example, or Coltrane, who are playing music at a super high level, when you look at their brains, you actually still see fear, but you don't see self-monitoring anymore. So it's like they still feel that energy of fear, but they ignore that part where they're observing themselves. And so as soon as you start thinking about it, that's when it ruins everything. That self-monitoring seems to be the trigger that gets you out of flow. So what are some examples of ways or things that people could be doing to achieve flow? Just run of the mill, we can start there.
Yeah, well, there's four things that are necessary to get into flow. So like a little checklist. The first one is having clear goals. Having clear goals of what you're trying to achieve. So if you're playing basketball, you know you're trying to shoot a hoop. It's a clear goal, okay? The second thing is immediate feedback. So let's say you're playing basketball, you want to dribble around someone, that's your goal, to get around them, to get to the hoop. If someone's stepping in front of your way, it's immediate feedback. Okay, I might need to change, I might need to do something else. And you're not consciously thinking that to yourself, like, okay, now I need to change. You're just taking action, but your mind needs clear, immediate feedback. It also needs to be a balance between the challenge and skill. Meaning it's difficult to get into flow if you're playing basketball against toddlers and it's too easy for you. Okay, it's difficult to get in flow. Also, it's difficult to get into flow if you're playing against like NBA guys who are just way better than you. However, if someone's about your level or just slightly better, and I'm just using the running with Aubrey's basketball analogy, but if you've got a challenge which is just at your level, whether it's a computer games are experts. People who make computer games are experts at getting people into flow. If the challenge is about the same as your skill level or slightly harder, it's more likely to get into flow. And then finally, you need a feeling of focus and concentration. So anything that can take you off that feeling of focus and concentration is going to take you out of flow. So I'd say this is the biggest culprit for most people in life for pulling them out of focus and concentration, distractions. If you want to get into flow and stay into flow a lot more, one of the best ways is to eliminate distractions.